Hello, this is Angela with Parker's Permaculture. Welcome back to Hausfrau Friday. This is a segment that I try to do almost every Friday, where I talk about the way the permaculture philosophy and its three ethics of earth care, people care, and fair share interplays with our domestic lives, not only the caring for the home, but our relationships with our family members and our community. And, I had a long video that I meant to get filmed today, and I just don't have time. It is a crazy busy day. So my second kid, B, is graduating from high school today. She's been going to college full time, but it's still her senior year of high school. And so we have her ceremony tonight. It's also been a day where I have had a ton of paperwork due for my dad's estate. And so I've been driving around like a chicken with my head cut off, getting paperwork signed and notarized and things mailed, certified mail. And I'm sitting down for like 10 minutes to work on a little weaving and do like a little decompressing before we have the round of getting ready and heading out to graduation. And so I just don't have time to film a full video. I did film a couple of TikToks today that are on subject for Hausfrau Friday. They are on topic. I want to share those videos with you because one of my followers on TikTok asked a question about parenting skills, and I thought it was super important to elaborate. So those of y'all that are familiar with this segment know that I'm a non-authoritarian parent, that we don't spank or hit our kids, but also that I like to talk about the ways that building skills as parents is under the auspices of the permaculture ethic of people care, right? Kids are people. And when we invest our skills into our children, we will see dividends of that investment of good parenting for generations to come. We will break the cycles of toxic and abusive parenting, and we will give our kids a leg up. They won't be adults that have to work on healing from their childhoods, right? Like we've had to. And
auspices is a real word?
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't know that? I failed you as a parent.
No, that...
So one of the most important skills I think we can have in parenting is distress tolerance. So let me share those TikToks with you and I'll come back at the end for a minute. This right here is one of the most important skills we need to learn when it comes to raising our own kids and interacting with our parents. That skill is called distress tolerance. And I learned about it when one of my teens had to do DBT therapy. And the way our health insurance works, if a teen does DBT therapy, their parents need to do it in concert with them. So I did the whole DBT program, and in that program, one of the skills we learn is distress tolerance. That skill is exactly what it sounds like. How much can I tolerate my own distress? How much can I sit in my own uncomfortable feelings and not weaponize them and use them to harm other people? And I think it's a skill that boomers woefully lack. And in general, like white people in America do not have this skill. This is a learned skill, and I know as a parent it is incredibly important because so often our kids trigger our own issues, our own trauma, and if we have not learned to deal with those feelings of discomfort that arise through the course of normal parenting, then we are going to potentially hurt our children. Which I think is something that we can see, those of us that are Gen X and millennials, in our boomer and silent gen parents. They did not learn these skills, and therefore when they were uncomfortable, when they experienced distress, they weaponized it against us. They cannot handle feeling bad feelings. Learning that feelings are just that, they're just feelings and they can't hurt you. They don't feel good, but they can't hurt you, I think is such a crucial skill for any parent. That we don't need to let the uncomfortable feelings run us. And that if we do let our uncomfortable feelings run us, if we do let our sadness, our anxiety, our fear, our embarrassment, our jealousy run us, then we are likely to hurt people that we care about or sabotage our own lives. Because I think we see a lot of boomer parents have sabotaged their relationship with their children and they're bitter and upset about it, but they don't have emotional intelligence around this issue. They don't understand that they lack distress tolerance, and they don't understand that the reason that they have hurt their kids is because they have prioritized their own discomfort above the well-being of their children. Learning distress tolerance has been so unbelievably important for me as a parent, but it's also given me a lens to better understand the behavior of my own parents and my in-laws who lack that skill. It's definitely one of the most important tools in my parenting tool. Hey parents, how do we cultivate distress tolerance? What skills do we use to prevent us from weaponizing our own uncomfortable feelings against our kids? Caveat here, I'm not a therapist, and I highly recommend, if you are interested in learning these skills, that you take a course of DBT therapy. It's about 18 months. But I have found the skills I learned in this therapy course that I took along with one of my teens to be incredibly helpful in parenting. And some of these were skills that I had already, but I didn't have a name for them, and I hadn't put them in conjunction with other skills. Dialectical behavior therapy was actually created to help folks with a cluster B personality disorder called borderline personality. But the skills in it are incredibly useful for anyone with anxiety. In fact, it's often prescribed for adolescents with severe anxiety. DBT loves to use acronyms and to break skills down into little digestible chunks that you can access when you're really distressed and your emotions are really high. So DBT states that our mind has kind of 3 states it can be in. There is the wise mind in the center, where we balance our emotions and our rational thinking. There is the rational mind, where we are kind of shutting down our emotions and we're not accessing them. And then there is emotion mind. And I think this is where a lot of boomer parents live, where the strong feelings of discomfort that come with intense emotions override our rational brain and they kind of run us. And that can lead to harming others out of our attempt to alleviate our own discomfort, our own distress, and also sabotaging ourselves while we're at it. So DBT teaches us skills to deal with the intense distress that we're feeling so that we don't act based on those emotions. And we try and get ourselves back into wise mind, where our emotions and our rational thinking are in balance with each other. And therefore we can make good measured decisions. So one of those skill sets are the stop skills. When we are feeling incredibly amped up and we feel like we're going to lash out at our kids because our emotions are so high, we're really triggered, the first thing you do is you stop. You don't react. Whatever you want to do, you don't do it. You just freeze. And then T, you take a step back. O is observe, notice what's going on inside your body and outside of you. When our emotions are really high, we want to act very swiftly in order to protect ourselves, in order to alleviate the discomfort that we're feeling. And the stop skills say, whoa, let's pump the brakes here. Let's not knee-jerk react to something where we may regret what we're doing because our emotions are so high that we cannot think rationally. So the P in this skill set is to proceed mindfully. Try to center ourselves back in our wise mind and act with awareness of everything that is happening, and act with awareness that we are emotionally dysregulated and that our feelings are trying to run the situation. The next skill set is accepts, and I won't break down what all of these are. DBT is an 18-month-long therapy course. Please go take it if you think it would be useful for you. But I will say the S1, sensations, is one that has been really useful for me when I'm really amped up and I don't want to do something that might hurt my kids. It's using your senses to self-soothe so that you can kind of bring your elevated state back down. For me, that often means I step outside and walk around in my garden for a little bit, observing all of the ways that my senses are connecting to what's happening in the garden to kind of bring me out of that escalated state. Great skill set here. Please Google. Another acronym here are the TIP skills. These are for when you are severely escalated and you are basically not functional. You cannot cope with your distress. It is overwhelming you. Dunking your head in a sink of cold water works great. Engaging in intense exercise, go for a run. Do a bunch of push-ups. If you're caring for little kids, put on a dance party and dance like crazy. Focusing on breathing exercises. Engaging in a 5-minute meditation to progressively relax all the muscles in your body, starting with the top of your head all the way down to your toes all the way up to the top of your head. One of the things I love about DBT therapy is that it is skills focused. And so it gives us goals to work towards. It helps us build skillfulness so that we can be more successful. It's very different than talk therapy. It's teaching you coping mechanisms and strategies in order to be more successful and not letting your emotions run you. Helping you gain emotional intelligence and skillfulness so that you are able to center yourself in wise mind and have a healthy balance between your emotions and your rational brain. Allowing you to feel your emotions, not to shut them off, but to feel them and process them in a healthy way. To understand that it's okay to feel discomfort, that feelings are not facts. And to learn skills so that we don't hurt other people in our pursuit of alleviating our own distress.
Okay, I hope that was helpful. Again, I'm not a therapist, but I found that taking DBT therapy is incredibly helpful for me as a parent. It's also helpful for me in managing my own anxiety in life in general. It's just such an important skill set. And I love the way that it is a skills focused therapy, because I'm a very skills focused and like goal oriented person. It's much more helpful for me than talk therapy. I feel like the skills that I've learned in DBT therapy help me organize, kind of like coalesce some of the skills that I already had previously that I maybe couldn't give a name to or didn't understand how I could amplify those skills by pairing them with other DBT skills. But I also feel like it's given me a lot of skills that have helped me in my own personal life as well. And in dealing with other people that are outside of our nuclear family. I think DBT therapy is helpful for everybody. I wish it was taught in school. I wish it was something that everyone had access to. And I hope that if it's something that interests you, you can find a way to access it, that your healthcare provider would be willing to help you get access to a course of DBT therapy. It is a commitment. It is about building skills, and that takes time and that takes discipline. But I think that the yields from it are really, really worth it. So okay, I am gonna, take 10 minutes and like decompress a little bit before I'm on to the next thing. I hope that you all are enjoying your Friday. I hope that you are staying cool. Here it's gonna be very hot in Portland over the weekend. And I'll be back from my garden very, very soon here in Portland, Oregon. Take care. And please don't forget to click like and subscribe. That's the best way you can support the work of this channel. And don't forget to check out my GoFundMe for Selwa. It's the first thing in the video description down below. Thanks.